Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Next Step Espresso, your daily shot of fitness. I am your host, as always, Johnny Landals from Next Step Nutrition, bringing you the podcast that helps you overcome the industry confusion and get results for good. Today we're on episode 399. Now, if you are calorie counting, then hopefully you have embraced the idea of flexible dieting. Now, for those of you who are new here, flexible dieting isn't just the art of counting calories. It isn't just the art of making foods fit your macros or whatever else you want to call it. It's much more of a mindset around knowing that a wide range of foods fit your goals, knowing that you can and should enjoy a wide range of foods, knowing that your calorie intake is the largest factor in determining your body weight losses or gains, but knowing then that eating enough protein is a great way to retain and build muscle tissue, and knowing that on the whole you want to be eating foods that have more nutrients than those that don't. Right? That is flexible dieting in a nutshell. A lot of the time we can get caught up with the whole calorie counting aspect, and we have to hit this many calories a day, we have to hit this many macros a day, we have to walk this many steps a day, we have to sleep this many hours a day, and then this is all where flexible dieting can actually become rigid, restrictive dieting, right? So a lot of people I chat to with regards to their calorie intake, at first the act of counting calories and being aware of them is really liberating, because they can see how fitting in a bit of milk chocolate here and there doesn't take them over their goals, right? It doesn't take them over their calories. It doesn't ruin their progress. They can see how fitting in a McDonald's or a Burger King here and there can actually be part of a balanced diet, because it doesn't define their overall diet and they're not doing it all the time. Where it can become really restrictive is when you have a set calorie amount that you never move from. So with our daily calorie intake, even if you do the exact same exercise and the exact same movement, which would be quite difficult, you will burn a varied amount of calories on a day-to-day basis. Of course, there'll be an average involved there, but the amount of steps you take will make a difference. The food that you eat will make a difference. The amount you breathe will make a difference. The amount how hot you are and how much you sweat will make a difference. So there'll be tiny differences day to day on how much we burn. I mean, movement-wise, there can be dramatic differences on how much we burn. One day you walk 10k steps, another day you walk 5. Big differences there. So having a set intake is always just an average based on averages. That's all we can do. Unless you want to be super, super anal with working out your exact calorie amount on a day-to-day basis and be really specific with how you work out your exercise expenditure, because there are limitations with every single exercise tracker out there in terms of their calorie expenditure. Unless you want to go through that, it is best to kind of have an average per day, right? So either an average based on training days and rest days, or just a daily average based on your average exercise per week, making sure you're either in a deficit or maintenance or a slight surplus, depending on your current goal. Now, this is where it becomes tricky, because if you have that set calorie amount, it is an average, right? It is just an average. It's just a number. You don't need to be hyper strict at hitting that every day. So if there are days where you're not really as hungry as others and you're going to be a little bit under or quite a bit under, that's okay, because there'll be other days within that week where you're probably a bit hungrier, maybe you're a bit more stressed, or you've got a bit more craving that you want to kind of have a handle on rather than letting it build up to a big binge, and so you're going to go slightly over your calorie intake. This is where you need to have this flexibility of your daily average becoming an average over time, right? You don't need to hit 1800 calories every day, but across the course of a week or a month, if your daily average is around that amount, and that's the target you've set yourself based on your goals, you're going to be okay, because your body responds to periods of time rather than moment to moment, meal to meal, and day to day. Where you can get really stuck up And restrictive is where if you start to think that you're about to go over your calorie amount, and then you think, well, screw this, I'm not going to count my calories anymore because I'm already about to go over. I might as well eat everything in sight because this has been such a shit day. I've ruined my diet and I'll start again tomorrow or Monday or however you're feeling in that moment. It's those moments that are causing you to mess up. So rather than being so restrictive and thinking you have to eat the exact amount of calories every single day, focus much more on your average over time. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Next Step Espresso. If you have, I would love it if you could share with someone who will find it useful. And I promise you that on tomorrow's episode, I'll have fixed my voice and it won't be as croaky and weak as it was today. Have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another shot of fitness.